There were no soldiers on female convict ships, mainly for security reasons. The only successful mutiny attempt on a convict vessel happened on a female ship, and we think that the British government was worried that female convicts might form relationships with the military detachment, and that would make seizing a vessel easier. Female factories were the equivalent of penal stations for female convicts, but they were also the place where female convicts went when they were disembarked from the vessel, while the colonial government sorted out where they were going to send them. And there were a lot of them, not just the one in Hobart, which is really quite famous. So there were another 3 in Tasmania, and there were also equivalents in New South Wales.
Well, for children convicts, as much as possible they tried to keep them to their own convict vessels, but if they weren't able to have just a children's only vessel, they'd try and keep them separate from the rest of the convicts on board. But what we also find is that a lot of female convicts actually were transported with babies and small children who were down below decks with them during the voyage as well. Child convicts were actually educated as part of their servitude, so all of the children had some schooling, but interestingly, so did the adult convicts. They had classes and different forms of education that they were given by the government as well. When child convicts arrived in Tasmania, they were actually separated. So the boys were sent out to Point Pure, which is out near Port Arthur, and were educated and trained and put to work out there. And female child convicts were actually put to work, often as domestic servants, in people's houses.